back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Knack. We do have live tournament action coming at you. It is going to be FinaOSpiffy yet again. Now going to be taking on another Zerg player. His name is going to be DarkDolphins. Good old Zerg player here in DarkDolphins, man. He is very highly ranked, a phenomenal player here. So Spiffy might be running up against a little bit more trouble as he proceeds through these brackets. He's coming up against some pretty difficult Zerg players, but we have seen him in that last game go for mass Hellion and just demolishing his opponent's economy. It was crazy, crazy stuff. DarkDolphins is already saying that Zerg is OP. I love it. He's like, and that's why I play it. And FinaOSpiffy says, agreed. That is crazy stuff. But it looks like we're going to be on Tal'Darim Altar here. DarkDolphins spawning as our red Zerg player. He's kicking it up here in the top left-hand side. In the bottom left, it is FinaOSpiffy. So it looks like our battles will take place on the left side of this map for the time being. And it looks like Spiffy with a standard opener thus far. Nothing strange going on quite yet. He does have that supply depot going on in a good position for a wall. And it looks like our scout going to come out for DarkDolphins. This guy headed in the right direction. The drone will be getting the scout out. This is Bob the Overlord. He is absolutely useless. This guy going to be wandering around the map here for the next year. But DarkDolphins will get a good scout out here. Does see the barracks going down. Sees the wall off. Standard timings thus far. No gas quite yet for FinaOSpiffy. Back here at DarkDolphins side of the map, it is 15 supply right now, so I'm guessing he's going to be going for a 15 hatch. Here comes a drone, and he's about to have 300 men, so that looks the way it's going to be here. Good old fashioned fast expand. If I can stop stumbling over my words. There it goes right there. And your scout from Spiffy. Going to cruise around, does not see the pool yet, knows the timings, knows what he's dealing with here. May choose to get aggressive, or he may indeed choose to go for that same type of play, that mass Hellion play. Can be super effective, especially on maps like this where it's difficult to keep guys out of your main. There's not really a good solid place to do that, you know, to put up your spine crawlers until this base is complete. And even when it is, it's still kind of iffy. You have to put like a spine crawler here and maybe a spine crawler here or something if you really want to protect people or protect your main from getting Hellions inside. But so far so good. Looks like we'll see where Spiffy's going to go here. I'm kind of interested to see if he is going to go for that Hellion play again. But he has got his gas down in pretty decent time here. His orbital command is up and running, and here goes a factory. Factory has gone down, so Hellion opener once more from Spiffy. Back over here at DarkDolphins side of the base, he does have his spawning pool going down. About to be complete. His gas just now getting saturated. And his hatchery going to be complete in a moment as well. Good standard opener here from DarkDolphins. Now proceeding is the question. Is he going to catch wind of what is headed his way? It indeed is going to be Hellions. And Spiffy actually in that last game, I was super impressed with how much damage he did with those Hellions. So interesting stuff here, but reactor going down. Obviously the factory is going to be headed over here to the reactor here in just a few moments. And let's take a look at what DarkDolphins has in production. Guess what? It is a Roach Warren, an early Roach Warren, a smart little move here versus Hellion play. That is going to absolutely give him better ability to defend against Hellions. So we'll see how that's going to go. But Hellions should be out on the field here in just a few moments. So we've got 2 in production right now, the first 2, and here comes some scouting lings. They're going to try picking away at this reactor. Not going to quite happen. There is a Marine there to stave them off. Looks to be pretty good. DarkDolphins with a pretty nice economy here at this point, but FinaOSpiffy actually beating him pretty solidly right now on that economy side of things. He's got 21 SCVs to the 18 drones of DarkDolphin, and also has a good old bunch of mules available to him. Notice he's taking an expansion here. He's got that sucker almost halfway complete, and he's going for another factory. Got a tech lab down this time, so it's not going to be the same play that we saw the last time. Last time it was another reactor, and this time it is going to be a tech lab, so probably going to see him transition into tanks. He's going to play a little bit more safely, I'm thinking, this time. That was kind of a risky play that last game, but now these roaches out on the field will be moving forward, and they're going to have to, they're forcing these, absolutely forcing these Hellions back at this point. There goes your bunker. Looks like Spiffy is going to have to try and defend this little position. He's got a couple of these Hellions out on the field and a couple Marines as well, but the Marines not quite enough at this point. He's got to keep these Marines alive. They are destined to go into this bunker should they live through. This wall going completely down. Oh my goodness, Dark Dolphins with a little bit of micro there, keeping a lot of these units alive. Looking really good, and here he goes. He's going to come into this base for just a moment. We do have one Marauder out on the field. He is currently kicking it in that bunker. And that is a no fun position, though. I'll tell you, man, it's a scary little job to be in there right now with this many roaches beating at your door. Couple more units, no, actually not really cruising out across the field here at all, but Dark Dolphins tossing down a macro hatch, and there he goes. He is going to continue that attack. Cancellation there of the add-on. Spiffy going to have to back this guy out. Couple Marauders, though, out on the field is absolutely going to be helpful here. And he's going to go for another little push. Wants to get these roaches out of his face. Nice little play there. One Hellion does go down, but look at this. These Marauders living, and that's the key here, because these are your gas-heavy unit for now. Well, and your siege tanks now that just came out on the field. But the Marauders here, super effective to keep these alive. That's exactly what you want to be doing. And so I would have liked to I rather would have seen Dark Dolphins focusing down on Marauder. That would have been a better play there, I think. But he did pick off two of those Hellions. No, just one of the Hellions and one of the Marines. So actually not super cost effective there at all. That's only 150 minerals lost. And he did lose a little bit of gas there with those roaches. So it's one thing to consider. But it looks like Dark Dolphins in pretty decent shape. He does have that macro hatch about to be complete. It's going to block this little entryway off just a little bit extra, making that spine crawler there much more effective. Man, he appears to be in just fine shape. Notice he's grabbing a Baneling nest here, so I'm assuming we're going to go for a serious Baneling bust potentially in just a few moments. But Spiffy going to be tossing down a couple tanks here for static defense for now. Sieged up, they do kind of strike me as static, but not really static defense, but good defensive posture nonetheless for Spiffy. So I'm liking this play from him. He does have that second orbital command up and running in a very big way. Two more gas going down, so he is going to transition into a little bit more tech-heavy build. Double factories, double tech labs, and he's working on, wow, a serious amount of tanks at this point. I'm liking that quite a bit. Looks like another barracks going to go down. He needs a couple Marines just in case his opponent does go for, any kind of Mutalisk play here. When we do have our lair on the way right now, so it is a definite possibility at this point. Getting his gases saturated, and he could definitely go for that type of play. I mean, Zergling, Baneling, Mutalisk is very popular play these days among Zerg players. I think maybe it's a little bit overrated in my personal opinion, but that's okay. It does take a phenomenal amount of control, though, to make it happen. And the lair going down, it is complete, but a good scan here from Spiffy will reveal that, and that is going to be super good stuff. Bunch of tanks now out on the field. I'm liking the unit composition here from Spiffy thus far. I would like to see him grab a couple extra Marines, I think, at this point, just to mix in that army. There's not any real reason to not have Marines in an army like this. I mean, he can go heavy Marauder, heavy tank, I think is just fine. It's a beautiful play, especially if he's going to be going up against roaches. I mean, those are your hardest counters to roaches you got, essentially. Except for Banshees, I guess. But, I mean, hard counters that actually fight with one another. These are great counters to roaches. So, a couple links, though, cruising in. Looks like they will get the snipe on one tank. It's not a bad deal. One tank does go down there fairly quick. And notice that Dark Dolphin securing his third here. He's getting this down in great time. Going to see him probably get this up and running fairly quick. Notice he's got 62 drones out on the field. He's been droning up hardcore so far. Absolutely crazy stuff. And we do have some spine crawlers going down in the back of his mineral line here. He wants to really keep his bases, defended at this point. And notice that he's transitioning into infestors. So I'm interested to see how that's going to go for him. But he does have a lot of lings out on the field. Probably going to see a lot of lings, banelings, and infestors, which is a nice play too. So I'm actually fairly glad to see him not going for the Muta play here. I think that Spiffy's one of those guys who's got phenomenal control over his Marines, and he's got plenty of ability to produce Marines at this point. So I think the Mutalisk play would probably be a difficult deal for Dark Dolphins here in this particular matchup. But a couple links coming in here for Dark Dolphins. He is going to try and deny this or a planetary fortress here before it completes. And it is going to burn down. unless he can get this repaired. Oh, there he goes. He calls down the mules for the repair. Talk about clutch. Nice play there for Spiffy. Beautifully done. Now look at all the tanks out on the field here for Spiffy. Now, okay, so you want to talk about being under siege? That is what Dark Dolphins is already. I mean, this many tanks headed his direction. He's going to feel the absolute full wrath of the siege tanks, the Terran siege tanks in this little battle here. See how he's going to proceed, but he needs to get some more defensive units out. The thing that he does not have right now is a lot of units out on the field. I mean, he's got a bunch of Lings, but Lings are going to evaporate under good tank placement here. So you can see your tanks cruising forward. We're going to probably see a scan go down here in just a moment to reveal this high ground. Oh, he's going to use Marauders to scout it. Which is not a bad little deal. Got to send these guys up. He has to be up on the high ground, though. There goes the scan. I think that's a smarter play. Try and keep these guys at bay. And then moving up to the high ground here is going to be his next little deal. Here comes your Zerglings and Banelings, though. A whole bunch of Banelings in here. And it looks like they will be cleaning up all of the infantry and the tanks there very quickly. And Dark Dolphins ahead in the supply count after that. Let's check on that units lost. It is, though, Dark Dolphins slightly behind, almost 2,000 minerals there. And Spiffy should be in okay position here defensively for a moment, but it looks like he's going to go for another push here. Everything that he's been building this entire time is now going to be cruising out across this field, and he is going to go for another push. Good couple tanks here sitting guarding the Zelnaga Tower. I think should be just fine for the moment, for the time being, but he's got to be careful. Looks like Dark Dolphins may go for a drop here. Indeed, indeed. He's got good bunch of Zerglings here ready to be dropped into the main, and that is going to really force this Spiffy back here just a little bit. Zerglings, 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 whoa! Alright, here comes your main attack from Spiffy. He is going to be sieging up here at the third of Dark Dolphins. Dark Dolphins probably going to have a little bit of trouble holding on here. He did commit a lot of his forces to this main objective in Spiffy's main, and you can see that they're going to clear out. Go ahead and clear out that mineral line there fairly quickly. Going to get a little bit of a surround here on a couple of these units, but it looks like there's plenty of Marines for defense here to clean this up. And looks like Spiffy now doing phenomenal shape. Great job here at the third. Dark Dolphins probably going to end up losing this. You can see some burrowed infestors cruising forward. Not enough infantry to deal with this. A scan going down. And looks like these tanks are going to disappear. This tank going to get taken out by a Zergling right underneath his feet. Nicely done. He did do a decent amount of damage, but was unable to deny this third. So that's a big save there in many respects for Dark Dolphins, who is now securing his fourth base. Units tab going to show that he is at 81 drones. This guy's economy is crazy train right now. The one thing only thing he really needs now is an army, and I think he's trying to decide what his best unit composition is here. Notice how much minerals he's floating here. It's crazy amounts of minerals. He's getting a pretty decent scout on what's going on around Spiffy's base. He's got this guy here. He's been poking in and out with a couple different units. Knows about what's going on here, but only the 2 mining base essentially here for Spiffy. So Spiffy's got to eventually take a third. There it goes right now. He's going to fly it out. It's an orbital. I would have actually... Kind of interesting. I was guessing that he was going to go for another planetary at this position. That's what you tend to do in this position, but orbital is going to be just fine. It's nice to have those mules at the ready. It looks like another base will be going down here for Spiffy, but this position here is going to be very defensible as well as this position, but the trouble here is that this base is starting to get fairly low on the minerals. So Spiffy does need this next expansion here very quickly. Notice that Dark Dolphin's up and running over here, and he is taking a 5th base right now over here at this new main. Actually, it's the natural of the main, but still in great position. Probably not going to see Spiffy move over there because unless he takes just a drop or a detachment of Marines, his tanks are too immobile to go over there and try and deny it. He's got to stay near where the main army is going to be. It looks like we're going to endure another drop here. Banelings in here. Oh, missile turrets. Taking a lot of deals. A lot of shots. This guy going to go down before he drops everybody. But main attack here, Dark Dolphins needs to evacuate his overlords Lots and lots of infested swarm eggs going down, and that means lots of infested Terrans. And here comes Spiffy's army, but notice that he is going to be cruising up into the main. Going to try and focus down this macro hatch of all things. So I'd rather see him focus down the hive. But it looks like he is going to drop here. That got cleaned up there fairly quickly, but this attack going extremely well for Dark Dolphins. Wow, the factory is going to burn down. Looks like Spiffy still has a pretty decent amount of units here, but oh man, looks like he's going to clean that up there fairly quickly. Dark Dolphins at the ready. Did get a snipe there for, what do you call it? Oh no, wow, a couple tanks still alive. That's amazing. Lucky, lucky, lucky. I thought the tanks were going to obliterate themselves, but I guess they were too close to be killed by each other, which is kind of funny. Here comes your Lings. Looks like they will be able to clean out at least one more of these tanks. 2 go down, and now you got this last guy here. He's going to try and take down one more Zergling. Maybe he could just kill the Zergling, but instead he's going to die. Oh, that's okay. It happens. It happens. Now, it looks like Spiffy is in pretty decent shape. Dark Dolphins does need to be careful. He is doing a lot of damage here in the main of Spiffy, taking down a lot of unit production facilities here, and that's really hurting Spiffy's play at this point. It makes it so he can't produce, but Dark Dolphins does not have the economy that he once had. Looks like he is going to get a good surround here. Banelings going off on those Marines, and here comes some more Banelings. There's only one more in there. Looks like just the one more. Oh, that guy almost got burrowed. Almost, but looks like these Lings will be able to do a decent amount of damage. Spiffy losing all of his reinforcements at this point. One at a time is not a fun way to lose them. And notice that you've got a lot of infested Terrans still cruising around here. These infestors somehow living through sieging here. We got a tank up here trying to take these guys down. Man, I'll tell you, this is a lot of back and forth. Dark Dolphins trying to keep the pressure on his opponent. He knows that he's kind of got Spiffy in a sticky position, but Spiffy just will not give up at this point. He wants to take down this tournament in the absolute, just the worst possible ways, man. He really, really wants this one. Notice that we do have this finally up and running in a little bit bigger fashion. Whole bunch of factories now out on the field, and Dark Dolphins with a lot of Lings, so we could see Spiffy transition into a bunch more of your Hellions, and that's all he can really produce at this point. But here comes your Lings. Looks like we are going to endure an attack here, and Spiffy may end up losing a lot of these factories. I would like to see him go ahead and lift these guys up. Don't want to let these burn down. Super important to hold on to every unit production facility he's got at this point. Looks like these SCVs are under attack. Orbital command here probably going to go down if it's not lifted up. Spiffy with nothing really here to defend, unfortunately. While we do have a couple more Lings cruising through here, they're going to try and attack a planetary fortress headlong. Not going to work. But here comes Spiffy's main army. It is now very, very Marine heavy. I think a nice little transition there. Just a couple tanks here and there, though, and we do have Ultras going to be out on the field here in just a moment from Dark Dolphins, and this is going to present quite a problem for Spiffy. Notice that his natural here about to be completely mined out. This base no longer mining. Everything has been evacuated there. This base is getting relatively low as well, and so Spiffy is kind of in this position where he's got to break out, take another expansion immediately, or he is just going to get bled dry, and that's what Dark Dolphins is really trying to do here. And with these Ultras, though, man, he can do a heck of a lot of damage. Tanks are going to be a little bit more useful, but Spiffy just doesn't have the composition he needs to deal with this right now. Just does not quite have it. What can I tell you? Here comes the attack. Banelings in here. Oh, and look at that. The Marines not splitting. They go down so quickly, and now Dark Dolphins way ahead in the supply count. GG, nice drop, says FinaOSpiffy. That is exactly what took it down for Dark Dolphins. It really put Spiffy on the run and made Dark Dolphins just put him in such a phenomenal position. Lovely game. Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you guys for watching. Congratulations to Dark Dolphins. We will definitely be missing Spiffy, but hope to see more of Dark Dolphins. Thanks again. We'll catch you guys in our next game.